Hey guys, Eric here. I'm joined by Scott and Joshua. Some big news. Marvel announced today on the comic book front that they are ending, apparently, the Marvel Universe, as we know it at least. Dun dun dun. Joshua, you are our comics guru. Explain to us what is going on here.
It's a little complicated, so bear with me. But for the past couple of years, Jonathan Hickman has been writing this big Avengers saga. And the overarching problem is that universes have been smashing into each other at they call them like incursions. So all these incursions have been happening. So far, they've been able to prevent all of them. But coming this May, our universe, or the Marvel Universe proper, is going to be crashing into the Ultimate Universe, and the heroes will fail to stop it. And in the wake of that happening, Battleworld will be created, which will be the start of the Secret Wars event storyline. It's an 8-part storyline, also written by Jonathan Hickman, done by Asad Ribic. So that's what's happening.
They announced Secret Wars was going to exist, a new Secret Wars at New York Comic Con. This very image was the first thing we saw. This image has not just Ultimate characters and Marvel characters, it has people from a bunch of Marvel universes, different stories. So do we think that it's really going to be not just the Ultimate Universe and Marvel, but everything kind of smashing together?
Yeah, last year they announced, probably these teasers out, kind of weird teasers. There was like Ultron meets Marvel Zombies and like X-Men 92 from like the old X-Men cartoon and stuff. And so now it was revealed that those were going to be different islands on Battleworld. But Battleworld is now the Marvel Universe. The old one is over, and
I can't get my head around it.
Right.
The Battleworld was the world from the original
That was the name
Secret
and the original Secret
Wars.
World that Beyonder created for them to fight on.
Yes.
And now it's like a whole planet, a mishmash of different Marvel realities. And as we can see from like the teaser imagery that's been released, is that it's just going to feature, there's going to be a bunch of different Thors and a bunch of different Iron Mans and Captain America, Spider-Man.
So the implication here, I mean, I think they even kind of said that going forward, even beyond Secret Wars, that Battleworld will be the new world of the Marvel Universe. So the question, I have is, DC many times has done kind of big, hard reboots on their universe and changed origins and been like, basically forget those old stories. Marvel's never done that.
Yeah.
So, Scott, I'll start with you. Like, do you think this is Marvel finally doing that? Is this going to be like the reset they've never really done before?
Well, it seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's sort of the Crisis on Infinite Marvel.
Right.
Right. But then again, doesn't Marvel have a big thing like this every year, a big crossover event? So could this just be like...
Not at this scale. This is the biggest... I know they always say this. This is so big, it'll change everything. But this one really is pretty big.
Yeah,
it's a little different than the rest of them.
It's interesting that they're going with some of these... I mean, you were referencing characters I wasn't even aware of. I mean, they're going obscure with some of these things.
Shadowline Saga, guys. I'm going deep here.
And we
Shadowline Saga.
We think there's some new universe in there.
New universe characters in there. The M2 line. Yeah. Like, so all sorts, and so I guess what I'm wondering is, and I think what the concerned fans are always going to have is they always go, oh my God, does that mean our old stories don't count, don't matter? Will the characters remember the history? Because it sounds like at the end of this, I think there will be a new world. But yeah, do you think, Joshua, that will Spider-Man still remember all the stories we read? Peter Parker, I should say. Will Peter Parker remember the things that we remember happening to Peter Parker?
I don't know. My big reaction to this is like, wow, I'm really confused. Because I just think about it like, so they're gonna have like the normal Marvel universe, and then like in the country next to them, there'll be like Marvel Zombies, and will the whole event just be people running up to the borders of their territory, and be like, oh my God, let's fight them. Like, I don't know like what's gonna happen. And it seems weird, it's that during the press conference where they made this announcement today, not once did they say reboot.
Right.
That's sort of like a dirty word in the world of comic books. And I think Marvel has no reason to reboot. They are the top as far as dollar share and market share. They're more successful than DC month after month after month. As far as when DC did the New 52. But so Marvel they don't need to redo anything. They actually just recently had Marvel Now, where they did a kind of a reboot where they just shuffled around all the creative teams and gave characters new status quos and new looks and stuff. But all the past continuity still counted. So I feel like that. We already sort of got a reboot a couple of years ago, so why? It was more of like a refresh, I should say, because it wasn't a reboot. So why restart now,
And it's also, you know, you look at the fact that they're going to do all these, we don't know exactly how long they'll last, but all these old stories are kind of getting new versions, like we were mentioning, like Days of Future Past, and, you know, Future Imperfect. But yeah, it doesn't seem sustainable beyond Secret Wars, because especially because Marvel's appeal has always been like, it's like much more than DC, it's like, it's our world, but then there's just crazy stuff going on and maybe a few extra cities. I just don't think after Secret Wars is over, it would be a bunch of islands with different versions.
Is it a way to maintain certain popular characters like Miles Morales maybe, but still jettison the Ultimate line, and maybe some creators are in, like maybe Brian Michael Bendis really wants to focus on New Universe characters now or something, so this is a way to bring them to the forefront.
Well, I should say that New Universe has been, like, over the past couple months, or past couple years, has been sort of folded into the Marvel Universe.
Has it really?
So it's kind of like a part of it now, and there's a few characters, like Starbrand, he's
Starbrand
there.
is part of the, really?
Yes, yes.
He's
I'll give you the graphic novel, you can read it. You'll love it, you'll love it.
We just blew his mind. I mean, but it does seem like maybe this is about sort of streamlining, you know, and I mean, I know, again, it's always the whole thing of like how accessible is this, and it's why they always do it new issue #1s, to be like, it's because they feel like new readers won't want to read issue 722. So I don't know, like my gut instinct is that Marvel knows like they'd get such anger from their hardcore fans if they did jettison the history. So I feel like it's gonna still be there, but something will have changed. Maybe all the characters won't remember it, but key ones will.
It might be selective, because like with the New 52, a lot of the popular Batman continuity stayed in place, right? Which I could never understand. It's like, well, so Batman stuff is still there. Damian Wayne still exists, but then like.
But the Teen Titans just started.
So maybe it'll be like that, like pick and choose what they want to.
I can see that, like taking the best of both worlds, like the Ultimate Universe and the proper Marvel Universe, and all the alternate realities, pick the best versions of all the characters and squish them together and make a new world. So maybe that's what'll happen once Secret Wars is over and Battleworld is gone. Because while Battleworld is the Marvel Universe, like for the foreseeable future, I feel like it's not going to stay that way, right?
Right, and you know, even New 52, you know how they kind of gave themselves this out if they ever needed, and that it was an in-continuity reboot, like with the Flash. There's some stuff there if they ever wanted to undo it, they could do the like, oh my God, I remember.
Right.
So I feel like maybe Marvel is going to do a version of that, but I don't think it'll be as extreme as New 52. Like I still think it'll be like much more acknowledged history, with these tweaks that some characters might acknowledge, like Reed Richards and Tony will be like, oh, everyone doesn't remember. But, you know.
We're Reed Richards and Tony, so.
We get to know everything.
Certain things can be fixed, and a part of me wonders if this is doing, making these changes to maybe align with the movies a little better, because I remember something that happened, it was like Crisis on Infinite Earths, and this guy, Alexander Luthor was going through, and he was like mishmashing all the different realities together, and then he looked at the new reality he created, and he's like, oh, Wonder Woman's now a founding member of the Justice League. So do you think maybe they'll go back and someone will be like, oh, now Hawkeye and Black Widow are founding members of the Avengers?
Well, maybe there's part of Battleworld is the MCU. Like maybe there's a little island that's the MCU. Right?
Ooh, they might meet them in Secret Wars. I like this idea.
It could happen. Anything could happen.
So that is right now, we have a lot of thoughts on Secret Wars. You know, the big question being, is this going to be a total reboot of the universe or not going forward? What do you think, guys? Let us know. We'll have plenty more on Secret Wars and plenty more on Marvel here at IGN.